Welcome to the dining room table. Illegal smoke shops is a topic at the New York City Public Safety Briefing. Let's hear what Deputy Mayor for Public Safety Banks and the sheriff has to say about this.
The first issue we're here to talk about today is a major concern for a lot of people, and that is the presence of these smoke shops across our city that are illegally selling marijuana products. I said the smoke shops that are illegally selling cannabis products, not smoke shops in general, because there are smoke shops who are operating lawfully. I want to make it clear what the difference here is. There are currently 4 legal cannabis retailers operating in New York City, 3 in Manhattan and 1 in Queens. These stores are licensed by the state, and the products that they sell are regulated. What do I mean by regulated? They're tested in the lab, so you can be sure that the product that you are paying for is a product that you'll receive. Which means that aside from these 4 licensed locations, if you're purchasing cannabis at another shop, 1, you do not know what you're ingesting. 2, the shop is operating illegally, so therefore it is a legal sale. 3, what we're going to talk about here today is that you may actually be putting yourself in danger just by being a customer in one of those stores. We're going to talk about that briefly. As Chief Shell will detail for us in a minute, these stores have become a hotspot for robberies because they often deal in large quantities of cash. Why they deal in large quantities of cash? Because it is still against federal law to put money into a bank if it comes from proceeds of cannabis. So subsequently, there's a large amount of cash, and a large amount of cash attracts the bad guys, bad girls, or people who engage in illegal activities such as robbery. So it is a threat. In addition to just, we're not sure about what you're buying or the product they're selling, it's also a haven for a lot of robberies. As we've seen several shootings that took place in smoke shops, including a homicide that occurred this past Sunday. This is an area of major concern for the mayor and the entire administration, and we know that it is a major concern for New Yorkers. The Sheriff's Office and the NYPD have been working hand in hand to crack down on these locations and do everything in our power to put them out of business. So right now, I'd like to turn it over to Sheriff Miranda to give us an overview of what his office has done thus far and what they're planning on doing. Sheriff.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. For the first quarter of 2023, the total number of smoke shops inspected were 143. And compared to the first quarter of 2022, in terms of smoke shop inspections, only 36 were conducted. It means there's been an increase of about 300% in smoke shop inspections currently being conducted. Over 2023 year to date, the number of smoke shops inspected conducted from January 2023 to April 2023, there have been 162. Let me give you the numbers of what resulted. There have been a total of 46 arrests, 73 criminal court summonses issued, 249 notices of violations from the Sheriff's Office, 126 notices of violations from DCWP. The total amount of assessed civil penalties is $2,600,000. And the estimated value of items seized by the task force is over $6 million. The total number of smoke shop inspections conducted since the task force started in November have been 235 shops to date. There have been a total of 55 arrests, 148 criminal summonses, 334 notices of violation from the Sheriff's Office, 225 notices of violations from DCWP, and the total value estimated civil penalties is $4,400,000. And the estimated total value of items seized since the beginning of the task force is close to $12 million in merchandise.
And I'd just like to be able to say is that we can, cite off stats and stats over and over again, and it certainly does show an effort, but the fact remains is that we do need help from the public. And every time we ask for the public for help, we do get it. So we're going to continue to ask. 1, if you're purchasing cannabis, it may be a little bit of an inconvenience, but follow the law and purchase it from one of the 4 legal cannabis shops, and there are more to come. And please pass that information along. So as I mentioned earlier, the smoke shops is not solely the fact that they're illegally selling cannabis. What we're seeing now is that they're attracting criminals and fostering other illegal activities. The robberies and other crimes occurring at these shops put people's lives in danger. When those bullets fly, it's not a magnet. They fly and anyone becomes at risk. So Chief Shell, could you provide some more detail about what the NYPD's role is in these illegal smoke shops enforcement and what you're seeing in relation to these locations?
Sure. Just let me give you some stats to start. Right now, the increase in smoke shops, we're up to approximately 1,625 smoke shops in the city, a large amount. As it relates to the Deputy Commissioner mentioned robberies with smoke shops. In 2022, we finished with a 140% increase in robberies with smoke shops. This year, we're already pushing 50% of being robbed. And what's concerning about this, and the Deputy Mayor mentioned this, the average money amount is about $3,000. And what compounds that also is obviously marijuana in the store. There's also paraphernalia in the store. So you can get 3 things in one robbery. It's attractive. Who's committing the robberies? Unfortunately, about 30% of the people who do arrest are the age 15 to 19, which is alarming in itself when it pertains to youth. As far as what our role is here, we assist the sheriff in looking at stores that come to our attention. They come to our attention as deputy made by the public. All right, we need the public to tell us what they know about stores, what they think is dealing illegal narcotics out of stores and cannabis. We look at high volume of 301 calls throughout the city. We're asking the schools to get involved in terms of if they have kids that are getting sick from illegal vapes to let us know. They go to the priority list on top. We look at what we have. Our people get sick. We fill out what we call 80 cards. Who's getting sick from smoke shops? And we prioritize in that fashion. What the police department can do, we have administrative powers to go into the store and write summonses, look around, and only what the public can be. The sheriff has broader powers than that, but we also have other strategies I'm not going to go too far into that we use in regards to underage sales of marijuana and narcotic sales. Currently, we had a hearing at City Council, and we've kind of ramped up our nuisance abatement approach. So currently, there's over 60 stores that are up to be closed. They're currently in civil court judge right now, and that's more than we had last year. In terms of presence, last year alone, we had about 7,000 what we call directed patrols, where a patrol car will pull up, visit the store, maybe walk the block. We had 7,000 last year. We're already at 6,000 this year. And I'd be remiss in saying that from the crime prevention point of view, we have to protect these cannabis stores.